This episode is brought to you by Bureau, our title sponsor. With 8 vibrant locations in Miami's best neighborhoods, Bureau is the perfect co-working place to work, network, and thrive alongside other entrepreneurs, creatives, professionals, and local businesses. Find your space at bureaumiami.com.
Thanks, Mike, for being a supporter. I'm glad that you've known Mike for a while. Me and Mike are good friends. We play a lot of beach tennis. I know you're a tennis player.
Paddle player.
Oh, paddle player.
I did tennis, but it's been a while.
You don't any beach tennis?
No, not really. I like to. If you guys invite me, I'll go.
You're Brazilian from Rio, and you don't play beach tennis. How is that possible? It's like the biggest sport in Rio right now.
I know. I play fresco ball though.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not that well, or not that recently.
Yeah.
When I was going always to Rio and Ipanema, I had a coach.
Yeah.
For fresco ball in Ecuador. It's a good place for it.
Okay, cool. We're gonna get you out on the beach tennis court.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, cool.
No, for sure. I'm in.
So we're here with Ricardo Dunin. Thanks for joining us, Ricardo.
Okay, my pleasure.
Appreciate it. We met at. Let's start with a cheers.
Yeah, we got a cheers.
Yeah. What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's first things first.
Yeah, thanks first.
Cheers.
We're Ben and I are sipping a little tequila El Padrino, and Ricardo's drinking a little Flor de Caña from Nicaragua. And you own some property in Nicaragua too.
I do.
Whereabouts in Nicaragua?
In Tola, near Macul, and in next to San Juan del Sur.
Okay. How'd you end up owning property down there?
It's a long and semi-sad story, but I'll tell you anyway. Many moons ago, we bought the Miami Heart Institute that became the Ritz-Carlton Residences, Miami Beach. We bought it with patients inside, and we had hospital beds. So my former partner, became friendly with the guys from the Nicaragua Foundation that the palace are involved, and he offered to give the beds to them so they could be taken in Nicaragua and put it from good use. Then he got invited to go see Nicaragua by them, and he fell in love. And Nicaragua, it's interesting because it's a beautiful country. It's a big country. If you are from a civilized world, first world, you really love it because it's a time machine experience. I call it. You know, you got in and you get out of the time machine, and your mind is 50 years with, the guys on horses and the beers for 10 cents. And, he's Israeli from New York, so he really liked that experience. And he had a buddy that was involved with some project there, and he started buying assets. At some point, I had a business divorce with him, and we shared the assets, and I ended on the, when we did the buckets, I ended by having Nicaragua on my bucket.
Wow.
So
what do you own down
happened.
there? What kind of properties?
So what is the most meaningful? It's like a farm area that we started doing a development. It's horse related, stables and
Gotcha.
bigger pieces of land.
Okay.
People building houses and things like that. That's near San Juan del Sur.
Okay.
Had also a piece of
San
land.
Juan del Sur is a big surfing town.
Big surfing. Well, it's all big surfing in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Nicaragua is a surfing area.
But it's kind of just southern Nicaragua, closer to Costa Rica, right? That's where that surf.
Yeah, which is where we are,
Yeah.
and it's the Pacific side, right?
Yeah.
That you go for surfing. The surfers love Nicaragua because the good waves and good cost. I mean, you go to Nicaragua at no problem at $20 a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so the surfers don't like spending a lot of money, so that works for them.
I've been to Nicaragua. It's a pretty cool country. The east side of Nicaragua, like the Bluefields area.
Yes, I've been there.
I've never been there. It is that eastern coast of Nicaragua is very vast and very remote.
Yes.
It's very difficult to get to the coast. Listen, I lived in Guatemala 25 years ago. You couldn't drive there. You had to take a plane to get to Blue Fields.
No, but you can,
Today you probably could drive.
you can drive.
But
and,
it's not a short drive, probably.
it's a big country,
It's a big
Nicaragua.
country, yeah.
You've been to Ometepe?
No.
Yeah, Ometepe is very interesting. That's another place we have a property on. And it's like two big volcanoes in the middle of the lake.
Oh, I've been to Granada and to Lago Nicaragua.
Right.
I've
So in
taken a
Lago
boat across
Nicaragua, in the middle, check it out.
Yeah.
It's worth it. There's a place called Ometepe. A lot of hippies.
Yeah.
There's some flower or something that they take there that apparently is very good buzz. I haven't tried
How do
it.
you know?
Because it's
on the street.
cultural.
It's what you've heard, right?
It's what I heard,
Yeah.
it's a lot of Israelis, a lot of different communities. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Actually, but
And they used to have freshwater sharks in Lago Nicaragua.
okay.
I think they're all dead now.
Yeah.
But,
I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah, it was. I think it's one of the only. I think it was the only place in the world that had freshwater sharks.
Yeah. Well, that's where they wanted to do the canal.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's the canal was
Originally,
going
the
through
idea
the
was to do the
Chinese.
Panama Canal through Nicaragua,
Yeah.
and connecting through the lake.
Right.
But I think it was politically less stable, and that's why they went with Panama. I believe is what the story is.
No, but a lot more recently, there was conversation a lot. Yeah, I'm talking. I don't know. Maybe 5-10 years ago, the Chinese were talking of doing a canal there, and I'm not sure exactly where we are on that canal, but there was a lot of discussions on it.
Well, let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah, he's from Brazil.
I am
From Rio.
Brazil.
You were born in Rio?
Oh, actually, I was born in Minneapolis.
No way.
Yeah, my dad is
So
a
you're a
doctor.
gringo.
I'm
You're
a
a fake
gringo.
Brazilian.
I'm actually a gringo
I was born in
fake.
Minneapolis.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in Minnesota.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I grew up in Minnesota until I was 3 months old.
Nice.
And then I went to São Paulo.
And both of your parents are Brazilian.
My mother was French, born in Paris, but raised in Brazil. My dad is a doctor. He's still alive, and he was doing his residency at 93. He's 93.
Wow.
He was doing his residency in Minneapolis when I was born.
In Minneapolis or in Rochester?
No, in Minneapolis
Oh,
at
okay.
the university there.
Okay, cool.
And then I came to Brazil 3 months old. I was stayed in São Paulo until high school. Moved to Rio.
Okay, hold on. Let's back it up a little bit here, right?
Okay, too fast.
Yeah, it's way too fast.
Yeah.
So, by the way, my dad is also a doctor, and I was born here. I was born in New York when my dad came over for his residency in New York City.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
What year did your dad come over
To
Minneapolis?
when he came back and
when he
he went to Minneapolis. Well, I think when he went, probably 57, 58. I was born in 59.
Okay.
So
My dad came in about a decade later.
right.
So, okay.
And then then he went back. We went back to Brazil.
So you went back to São Paulo.
But first in São Paulo, then Rio.
Okay.
Changed my accent to Carioca because.
How long did you live in São Paulo for?
17 years.
So you did high school there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then,
In what part of São Paulo did you live in?
Cidade Jardim.
Cidade Jardim.
Yes.
Okay.
Which was different, than
Yeah,
today.
which means Garden City. So
Right.
it's a little bit more of a lush part of São Paulo. There's not very many lush areas.
Not
but this
anymore. When I lived there,
it was probably a little more lush. It was probably
it was
one of the
a lot more lush.
Yeah. So you grew up in São Paulo, and you left São Paulo what year?
That would have been 76, 77.
Okay. Your mom is French.
My mom is French.
Do you speak French as well?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
So you speak Portuguese, French, English, anything else?
Well, Portuguese, Spanish.
Spanish as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, you have to in Miami,
There's no way.
You have to. Life is too difficult and too expensive in Miami if you don't speak Spanish.
You learn the hard way, right?
Listen, it's a funny story from my beginning of times when I moved here 34 years ago, and I had an issue with my gate on the house I was renting. So this guy come in, and so when I need to fix the gate, need to change the motor. I don't know how many thousands of dollars. And then he saw the accent, and we started speaking. Oh, you speak Spanish? Yeah, for Brazil, speak Spanish. So, no. So don't worry, we don't need to change the motor. We can just fix it. We'll cost 10% of the cost. So I said, okay,
amazing.
have to learn it.
Just looking to rip off the gringos.
Yeah, it's pretty important for Miami.
Yeah, definitely.
More than probably anywhere else in the world.
So what was it like growing up in Sao Paulo? Like, what were you into as a kid? Were you a hustler as a kid? Were you looking for ways to make more money? Like, what were you into as a kid?
Yeah, a little bit. I started very early working.
What was your first job?
My first job was a messenger.
Okay.
That was when you had to get the bus to go deliver something in a place. You got an envelope and go deliver, you get the bus. Of course, it was my father's company, so I got promoted to some.
So your dad was a doctor, but he didn't practice medicine?
He did in the beginning, but then he saw a new concept when he was in the U.S.
Which was?
It was HMOs.
Okay.
Kaiser Foundation, which is the first HMO of record, started in '56.
My dad worked for Kaiser for a little while.
Oh, okay. So when he moved to Brazil, he said, "Wow, that's a good concept. We may want to do it here." So in '61, he started an HMO in Brazil.
Can you talk a little bit about what an HMO is, just so
I mean,
audience understands?
HMO goes for Health Management Organization, this is the old model, the way we used to do it, I guess, of my dad, and today it's a lot more almost like an insurance company. But the way we had it is we had doctors' employees and non-doctors' employees. So, when we sold the company in '79, there was 4,000 people and 1,000 doctors' employees.
Oh, wow.
We were at like 5 hospitals. We were all over the country. We were actually the second largest in the world.
Wow.
As an HMO. We sold it to hospitals.
So you basically would bring different doctors with different specialties, and so
you would
provide
right. You would
service.
replace the way we did it. You would go to companies, and that actually is something my dad made work politically. Instead of using the national health system, the companies would hire us to take care of all their employees. Whatever they needed, them and their family. So they, whatever need. Much better than the public service. Brazil was pretty bad. I think it still is.
Yeah.
So we grew like that. I think we took care of over about 1 million people at the time.
So your dad was an entrepreneur?
100%. He got his MBA later.
Wow.
When in Brazil, and he was really more focused on business.
And how old were you when you became a messenger for your first job?
16.
16, okay.
Yeah.
Jumping on buses with envelopes, passing messages?
That's what I did, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's, I had I aged 16 to 17, then of course, I moved to Rio at that time.
What were you good at in high school? Like, were there any subjects you excelled at? What did you what were you?
I wasn't great
You didn't like
in
school?
anything,
No?
in the sense that I wasn't a great student. So,
Right.
For today's standard, I would be, mediocre student, but
We like mediocre.
Yeah.
but
Makes us feel better about ourselves.
well, because it's whatever I needed to do. I was a good student compared to, I guess, a lot of others, especially in high school. I would carry a lot of people on my back. I went to a high school where it's all multiple choice. It was 100,000 people high school called Objetivo.
100,000?
Yeah, it was I remember my class in high school was the third year, which is the last year. I was class number 106. And every class had like 40, 50 people just on that year.
Yeah.
So
wow.
it was a pretty massive stuff. I, was.
So you graduated high school what year?
I graduated high school in 76.
Ben, you know what they say in real estate, if people don't know you, they're not doing business with you.
Exactly. That's why the Built World podcast works with top-of-mind public relations, because being a best-kept secret sure doesn't pay the bills.
Paula Uspa Abbott, the brains behind Top of Mind PR, is a former real estate journalist, so she knows exactly what makes the media pay attention.
And let's be real, getting in the press isn't just about bragging rights. It's about building credibility, landing deals, and making sure the right people know your name.
Whether it's top-tier media coverage, killer storytelling, or just making sure you're the one people think of first, Top of Mind PR has you covered.
Want to stand out? Hit up topofmind-pr.com or email info@topofmind-pr.com.
Because in real estate, if you're not visible, you're invisible. You're in high school during the dictatorship.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was that feeling like living there? Because I was born in 74. I think I went to Brazil when I was 7, so 81. The dictatorship, I think, went till about 85.
Right.
The 3 years that I was there, I didn't, again, I was really young. I don't really remember anything, but people disappeared.
People disappeared.
People disappeared.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the movie, have you seen that movie, the one that took place in Rio?
Yeah, I see all the movies.
City of
I'm
God,
still
is it?
I'm still here.
I'm still here. I just watched
great
that.
movie.
I just watched that. If anyone wants to get a better understanding
Very
of what
good.
happened in Brazil
Right.
in the 60s,
Yeah.
70s,
Yeah,
I'm Still Here is an amazing
we
movie.
won the Best Movie Academy Awards Oscar last
Yeah.
year. Was
it's a new movie.
It's a new movie.
Yeah.
Last year it won the
Yeah.
Oscar for Best Foreign Movie. I guess the first time in history.
Wow.
This year there's a really good one, The Secret Agent.
Oh, I heard about that too.
Yeah, I just saw
we
it
got
too.
that in the queue as well.
I like, I'm Still Here better.
Yeah.
But A Secret Agent is pretty good.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I see all the movies, so
Yeah.
if you ever need movie advice, talk to me. I always guess the best movies, whoever is going to win the Oscars and in the most of the categories.
So you're a student of film. You enjoy film.
This year I'm going on record now because
Yeah.
the Oscars haven't been announced.
Yeah.
For me, by far, is one battle after another.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've heard that's great. I haven't seen it.
That's amazing.
It's Leo, right? Leonardo DiCaprio?
Leo, I don't think he's going to win, but I think Sean Penn is going to take the supporting actor.
Leo gets stiffed every time.
I think he's doing great. He's a good actor. He's doing great. I need to see Marty Supreme because I think Chalamet may be the guy, but I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
So I cannot comment on that one yet. But
So back to Felipe's question. Did you notice living in a dictatorship? Was that?
I mean, a little bit, but I wasn't that politically.
When you're young, yeah. You don't really pay attention.
Exactly. I mean, girls were more important.
Exactly, 100%.
I mean, he got like my focus when I moved to Rio, for example,
Was chasing hot ass in Rio, right?
was to changing accent.
Yeah,
because
okay.
it was hard to get anything with a Paulista accent in Rio.
Oh, really?
So I had to change the accent.
Yeah. São Paulo is a huge city, and I think it's up to 20 to 25 million people now, right, more or less.
Yeah, the largest São Paulo,
yeah.
probably 18. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So it's somewhere between that, 18 and 20 million, I guess, right? And then Rio is, I'm not sure how, Rio's small. Rio's about 3 or 4 million, right?
No, I think the large Rio, the Grande Rio, is more like 6.
6, okay. Yeah. So they're very, like, São Paulo is kind of like the industrial business, center of Brazil, and Rio is, let's have a little more fun. Let's live life a little bit, easier. It's got the beach there, so it's a different vibe, and there's an accent that is very distinct to Rio.
Right. Yeah, Rio, it's been like very unlucky in certain ways. Like
It used to be the capital of Brazil.
It was the capital. The capital moved
to Brasilia.
To Brasilia, so it lost a lot of steam. It was very strong in the oil industry, and that's also suffered. We have I don't know if they're still in or not, but like at least three governors in jail. So politically.
From Rio?
From Rio, yeah. And you know, it's just it's very nice to party. I mean, to go to the beach, and it's to go to different places, the mountain and boats, but you know, for business, São Paulo, it's a lot more relevant.
So you graduated high school and you moved to Rio?
Correct.
And you went to college in Rio?
Yes.
Where'd you go to college there?
It's a Fundação Getúlio Vargas.
Uh-huh.
It's you know, known to be the top business school for.
And is that a
Brazil.
private school or is it a state school?
It's a foundation. You know, it's just I think it's a non-for-profit. No, it's not government owned.
Okay.
It's so it's
a non-private, but
it's
private.
a non-private. I don't think it has an owner.
Yeah.
But it's the reference for South America
Yeah.
in general. It's that
It's
school.
a very good business school in Rio. So you moved to Rio. You go to undergraduate there.
Right.
What happens? What did you study?
So, a business.
Okay.
I had business, and then I got a job with the HMO in Rio that we had. My father had a partner, and that's an interesting story actually, because it's just one of those movie things. I got in to be the assistant to the director, you know, the administrative director. So you have the medical side and you have the administrative side. So I became the guy's assistant in a sense. And then my first thing I went to do is to talk to everybody in the company. I wanted to meet them and hear them. So 2-3 weeks later, I found out the guy was stealing. So I got him fired. When I got him fired, and I was 18, 19, I said, listen, I got him fired. You must give me his job. And they actually took the commercial side out, and they gave me the job.
Oh, wow.
So at 18, 19, I was running a pretty medium-sized business. And that's how it started. But it was kind of that's movie stuff.
And you...
How'd you find out he was stealing?
Talking to people, and they
okay.
started to give me leads. You know, I was this like 18, 19-year-old
Yeah.
boy, son of the main shareholder,
Yeah.
and they felt that they could trust me, and I started getting leads, and I investigated more and more. And
Yeah.
you know, when you those things, when you uncover it a little bit,
You start
then
pulling that string.
Then you pull
Yeah.
the string, everything comes.
Unravels.
So, right, it
yeah.
unravels. Yeah.
Interesting. So how long did you work for your dad's company for?
Well, what happened is in '79, he sold the company to HCA.
Okay.
They wanted to have HMO experience, and I stayed working for HCA for a couple of years in the same position, let's say.
Living in Rio?
Living in Rio and running, you know, that side of the business. Mm-hmm. And at some point, we wanted to, you know, my dad said, listen, you need to get more educated in what's happening internationally in the U.S., and then start talking to friends. And how do you do that? And the answer was, well, go work for an investment bank. That's where you get the experience. So he was very good friends, of course, with the owners of HCA at that point, and said, hey, I mean, can you help? So they introduced me to the owner of an investment bank in Nashville, Tennessee. That's where HCA is from. And they allowed me to get in. You know, it was a very intense internship, which I went to all the different departments of the company. J.C. Bradford and Company, at that point, the largest investment bank in the Southeast, ninth out of New York. And so I spent a year in Nashville, Tennessee. It was interesting. They had never seen a Brazilian.
I'm sure.
In Nashville?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you think about it. You know,
I
we're
can
talking
imagine.
like 81.
Yeah.
And I stayed, and I was young, you know, it was like 21, 22.
And were you living in like downtown Nashville?
Yeah, I started living in a house of, you know, my Nashville parents, let's say.
Yeah.
That was one of the directors of the bank. And for a little bit, and then I rented, a townhouse.
They had never seen a Brazilian, and you'd never seen a hick.
They never seen a Brazilian. It was really funny. I got out of the plane with some cash. I went. First thing I did, let me go to the BMW dealership. I bought a BMW. And everybody wanted to meet me, and I was like a curiosity. It's like when the first explorers brought the Indian back to the court.
Yeah, because back then no one was driving BMWs in
Nashville.
In Nashville.
Yeah. Right.
That was Pickup Truck Central.
Yeah, I was the
Ford and Chevy.
I was the Indian being introduced to the court.
Yeah.
But I make some good friends. I still have some friends.
Yeah.
How did you like Nashville? Was that a culture shock for you?
No, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
The music,
the people, the learning, learning English.
You own any property up in Nashville or no?
No. I mean, unfortunately, Nashville it's great.
It blew up. Yeah.
Blew
Blew
up.
I eventually will maybe do something there,
Yeah.
but I didn't buy anything there.
So how long were you in Nashville? And how long?
For a year.
A year.
A year.
Then you continued on with the bank or no?
Well, then I went for a commercial bank also there for a little bit, but then I went to New York. I had a friend in Brazil that had a debt collection company, and I had a good friend in New York who was an attorney, and we had an idea. We said, well, that was the time where nobody was paying anybody.
What year is this?
We're talking
late 80s?
No, that's actually 82,
Oh, okay.
83. Yeah,
Okay.
it was right after that. No, yeah, 83. So there was a big issue collecting money.
Okay.
So we said, well, why don't we start a company we wanted to set up a network of attorneys in different countries where they would go to try to collect money for a percentage. Very popular now, less popular. That was a new thing. So, went to Mexico, found a correspondent, went to different places, and started setting up the business. But then my dad, that had sold the HMO, he had a non-compete, so he went into real estate. So that's my entrance in real estate. He started buying property, and he wanted me and my brother to work with him, for him.
So where was he buying property? In Rio?
In Rio.
And what kind of properties was he buying?
Mostly office condos, Class A office condos at the time.
So he's just buying small condos?
Yeah, like a floor, two
Yeah.
floors on a building.
Which is much more common in Brazil than it is here in the United States.
100%.
It's something that is...
Yeah, although it exists here.
Yeah.
My office is an office condo,
Yeah.
1200 Brickell.
But I think it's more even of a Miami thing, right? Because the rest of the United States, it's not as common, right?
It's not as common.
Yeah, Latin America, it's very common.
Right.
Miami, because of the Latin influence, there are people that do it.
There is a few,
Yeah.
but not that many.
Yeah.
But then he bribed me to go back
Go back to Brazil.
and I took the bribe and went back. It started working. With him, for him, and working together. He gave us a piece of the business, me and my brother. And so one of the knowledges I brought back when I went back was those large consulting firms for office, like CBRE, like you have here, CBRE, JLL. In Rio, there was nobody doing that.
Yeah.
There was Richard Ellis, that later became CB Richard Ellis and then CBRE in Sao Paulo, and they had a big market share, but nobody in Rio. So I found a partner, my age group, a little older, and that was in the business, and we started a company to do exactly that, transactions in office. And 2 years later, we had.
So you guys were selling office condos or leasing?
Office condo, office buildings, and land, everything that has to do with office.
Okay.
Like
So
CBRE,
Yeah.
is, and good news is like 2 years later, we had like a 50% market share for Rio. It was pretty successful, and it also gave us a leg up on our. Real estate, whatever we
Personal
had.
holdings. So you were brokering deals, but you were also buying.
Right, so I could,
Yeah.
I knew the market, I had the opportunities, this kind of stuff. But what happened then is that it was when the kidnappings were happening in Brazil.
What year is this?
So we're talking now late 80s.
Okay, yeah. So Brazil starts to get real dangerous.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Real grabby. They start grabbing people.
The dictatorship ends, right? And it starts becoming...
It's like a power vacuum.
Ben, you and I are all about prop tech. And if there's one tool we absolutely cannot live without for our commercial real estate brokerage business, it's Vista.
Absolutely. Vista is incredible. We use it every single day. And we're always wondering, how do they do this? Every evening we get an email from them with real-time closed transactions. No more waiting around for months for the property appraiser to finally update.
Yeah, whether you're doing industrial, retail, office, land deals, they have every closed transaction. And it's not just the speed, Ben. The details are on point. Seller and buyer info, contact details, phone numbers, emails, everything is accurate.
It's hands down our top prospecting tool to farm for warehouse deals in Hialeah. Vista keeps us one step ahead always. It's also the best way to search for comps when putting together opinions of values for clients.
Head on over to Vista.com and use code BuiltWorld and get 30 days free access today. VIZZDA.com. Brazil, was it dangerous during the dictatorship, or...
No.
I mean, it was like people were getting picked off the street and being thrown in jail and disappearing. But
by the government.
By the government.
Yes.
But violent crime was down, right?
It was down.
Yeah.
It was down.
So you're saying you're for dictatorships?
No, absolutely not.
It has its benefits.
But it has its benefits.
It does. It does. And
But you know,
it's not bad, but it's not sustainable.
Right. Yeah.
You see,
Right.
it's like socialist communism.
Right.
It's not a bad concept, but it's not sustainable.
Human nature interrupts. Yeah.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
There's the short term and the long term.
Yeah.
So I lived in Brazil from 81 to 84.
Okay.
I lived in Campinas.
Right.
So, you know, I have some memories from there. I don't remember it being like dangerous, but it was, you know, people live behind walls.
Right.
You know, our house, and before we moved from Brazil, our house got broken into. When we moved back to the United States, our house got broken into, and all my parents' money and jewelry was stolen.
Right.
Like shit like that happened.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well,
And so
it was worse if you had money, because if you had money, you were a target
Yeah.
to be kidnapped for ransom.
yeah,
And
especially the very wealthy, right? Like.
Yeah, you know, whoever is visible,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
they would get it. And I had a really good friend we went to college together that was kidnapped and killed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was happening a lot. And it was to the point that you wouldn't leave the house at the same time every day.
Yep.
You wouldn't get the same way from house to office because you wanted to alternate so people
Yeah.
don't know where you were. So, you know, it got pretty bad. And then we said, well, I got married. My wife was pregnant. We said, you know what, let's have the kids somewhere else, maybe move out of here. And we were actually going to Europe. We were going to Portugal.
And what year was this?
That was 1990.
Okay.
So you know, so I didn't go.
So, but hold on. So at this point, you're a broker. You're managing your family portfolio.
Right.
You get married. You have a kid, and
Well, I didn't have a kid yet, but
Okay,
I was in the oven. Yes.
okay, and so you're like, it's this is not safe.
Yeah.
and
Let's try something else.
Dad,
Yeah.
see you later. I'm
No,
leaving.
my dad was big pusher for that.
Oh, he wanted you.
Yeah, he said, son, this is not cool. Just do better.
Yeah.
So.
You have any siblings?
I have one brother. Younger.
Older, or younger?
Younger.
Younger.
2.5 years younger.
Okay.
So we were going to Portugal, but two funny things happened. One, well, I knew I had Portuguese friends. They went to, because when I went to college, it was during the Portuguese Revolution. So all the major families moved to Brazil to escape the revolution. So I studied with several of the best families in Portugal. So I have good contacts. And I started researching, but what happened is Portuguese, I think still, but definitely at that time, medicine was very behind.
Yeah.
And we had some funny things, like we go to a restaurant, my wife at the time pregnant, and She asked for a side of broccoli, and the waiter said, "No way, I'm not serving you broccoli. You're pregnant." So at the same time, her brother lived in Miami. He lived in Key Biscayne. And so he said, "No, come have the baby here." So we came to have the baby here, and we liked it. So my daughter was born January 91. And then 2-3 years later, we were living in Miami. We went back, and
You never looked back. You've been here ever since.
Never. 34 years now.
Wow. Did you move to Key Biscayne or where
Key
was
Biscayne.
it? That's
Yes,
awesome.
100%. Key Biscayne was beyond amazing then.
It's still a great place.
It's still great.
Yeah.
But it was greater.
Yeah.
Do you still live in Key Biscayne?
No. When my kids got older, and of course when I got divorced, Miami Beach was the obvious
What was better about Key Biscayne back then? Are there too many Argentinians there now, or what? Did they ruin it?
There's just too many. It's just too many people, too many buildings.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, too
and
busy.
And by the way, water pollution too.
Yeah, I've
because
seen
you have
that.
the Virginia Key. You know, I'm a kiteboarder, so I'm always.
are you? Awesome.
Yeah, I'm always a North Crandom there. I think doing kiting, and the
That's
water. It's not the same water.
Yeah.
You know, I had a boat. I have a house on the water. I had a boat. We were always on the boat. It was great.
Yeah.
But today, again, it's not the same. But you know what? It's normal. Places have a time
Right.
when they're better.
Right.
And then they're not as good, and you need to look for new places.
Right.
So Key Biscayne is an example, but it's still great.
Everything comes in waves.
Everything comes in waves.
Yeah. You still kite?
I still kite.
That's incredible.
all the time. Yeah.
I'm a big wakeboarder. That's my sport.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kite.
But I haven't gotten into kiteboarding.
Kiting is
I would just
a lot
rather,
of fun.
I'd rather just get behind the boat. No fuss.
I say that probably that's why
Burn some carbon,
Exactly. Burn some petrol.
yeah, that's probably
pollute the bay.
it's
Yeah.
probably what Jesus Christ used to do that, right? It's the only way to walk on water. Is on the
Kiteboarding?
sky. Is that an e-foiling, which I started doing too.
E-foiling's fun.
E-foiling too. I'm doing that. I bought an e-foil.
That's awesome.
I've been doing e-foiling too as
Where,
well.
where do you e-foil?
Well, in Miami sometimes.
Like in the Bay, or?
Yeah, there by Sunset area in Miami
Sunset
Beach.
Harbor?
Yeah.
You launch from the docks there in Sunset?
Right, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep it there.
That's a good launch spot.
It is a good lunch spot, but mostly we have a house in Menorca in Spain,
Okay.
and I take it to.
Oh, that's
We're
sweet.
there a couple of months a year.
You ever tried foiling behind the boat, like foil surfing behind the boat?
I did not.
That's pretty fun too.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
get 3 waves back, maybe 100 feet behind the boat,
Right.
and ride those rollers.
Yeah,
But it's a little harder.
It's definitely
The
harder.
e-foil is easier because it's so heavy. It just kind of
Yeah, you control with the button.
yeah. But the foil balance is crazy. It's like 3D balance because you have it's like flying.
Very sensitive.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. No, tell me about
It's
it.
got to be good for. It's like racket sports, right? It's got to be good
right.
for to
Right.
stay sharp.
That's the idea.
So you moved in '91, and did you start doing real estate in Miami in '91?
Correct. Yes, I started. First year and a half, I was just kind of just looking.
Yeah.
And then
Learning the market.
learning the market, and then I found a property that was no short of amazing. It was the old Sears distribution center for South Florida, at the corner of the Palmetto and Northwest 25th, so adjacent to the cargo terminal of MIA.
Okay.
The exit on 25th was being built at the time. 30 acres and just like the most amazing location possible for warehousing. There was a building there that had to be retrofit, and then there's additional land. The issue at the time is that I was a rookie here, 30 years old, and nothing to really help me. But I came up with a strategy that worked. Everybody wanted that property, right? So first I didn't have an office. I was working for my house, so I got to the listing agents and CBRE and said, well, do you have a space? Can I kind of work from your office? And then I promised them to give them the listing if I bought the property, and I told them I didn't have a broker representing me. So I played the conflict of interest in my advantage because, they got double the commission plus the listing, plus I was there all the time in front of them, so they push the property in my direction. Codina wanted it, everybody wanted it, so we ended by buying it.
How'd you find it?
I mean, just looking at
Just
the market.
driving
I was, talking to brokers, looking at listings, the regular thing. I was doing that for a year and a half already,
Right.
without pulling the
trigger.
you know. So, and that was the first one I saw. I said, "Wow, this is amazing." So that was my first deal. That was.
And what did you do? Did you fix it up and flip it, or?
I fixed it up. Office and warehousing. I built 4 more buildings, and plus 2 all parcels, and leased it all and sold it on a cap rate.
What did you pay for it? Do you remember?
We paid, $20 million at the
For
time.
30 acres, you said?
Yeah, 30 acres is pretty cheap. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, it was
Yeah.
different time. So I think we paid 20. We put another 10. Was 10 million in equity, and we sold it to 40. That's kind of what I remember. So we
Okay.
doubled the equity
Yeah.
at that moment.
Oh, that's great.
Of course, 10 million. Then 30 years later, it's a lot. Would be a lot more now.
Yeah.
So,
And what was the time frame for flipping it?
the whole thing was like 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick deal.
That's when
Yeah.
you could build shit quickly.
Yeah. I mean, the first deal I saw in Miami, funny enough, was Ezra Katz from Aztec that showed it to me. It was with the Citadel building. It's going to happen
Oh, is
there
that
on
right?
Brickell Bay Drive. And I think the number was like 6 million. And they ended by selling for 350. So, what I thought is, if I had just bought that
Yeah.
and
It's
go
kinda
on
that-
vacation
yeah.
for 30 years, I would have a lot more money today than I have after, 35 years of work.
That site is insane.
Yeah, it is.
Some of you might know that I'm in the middle of building a Live Local project right now, and finding an internet provider was way more annoying than it should have been. Endless acronyms, pricing all over the place, and me chasing these guys for proposals. Then luckily, I came across Celerity Fiber, South Florida's boutique internet provider for new developments and multifamily communities. Working with them feels like working with a company your friend owns. They actually answer calls and texts, send quotes fast, and are genuinely great to work with. Celerity designs and installs fiber internet built for modern living. Fast, reliable, and ready from day one. From luxury high-rises to affordable communities, they deliver high-speed, scalable internet with white glove service and local support. The kind big internet service providers just can't match. So if you want to future-proof your property and keep your residents happy, check out celerityfiber.com. That's spelled CELERITY, fiber.com, and let them know the Built World sent you. Celerity Fiber, powering connections, elevating experiences. And so, what was the evolution of the real estate in Miami? Because have you continued on industrial? Because you seem to have pivoted.
That's what I should have done. But I was shown by a friend.
It's never too late. We're industrial brokers, so we can sell you some shit.
Yeah. I was shown a property that I kind of fell in love with, which was the Mutiny in Coconut Grove. So the Mutiny was vacant already. It had asbestos. Everything was cleaned up. But
this is post-Cocaine Cowboys days.
That's post-Cocaine Cowboys.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't get that.
You missed
I missed that.
I'm sure you're doing just fine in Rio.
and then I did just fine in Miami Beach after that.
Yeah.
But the building was all boarded up.
Oh, really?
At the time.
Because previously, was it a hotel? Or what
It was a hotel. Okay. All the rooms had a different decor. You had the club.
So it was just a blown-out abandoned hotel, basically.
Correct. That city was saying, well, we're going to demolish it. There was like some demolition order. I
just erase all those memories from the 80s.
Yeah, well, and the whole thing is it was kind of an absentee ownership. So Manny Medina was one of the owners with Alberto Abella. He was the catering king. He got the catered Desert Storm, and at that point, when Manny, which is doing great now, and became a billionaire, but at that time he went under. He was bankrupt. and Alberto just kept it the way it was, and so I ended by buying it from him after a while, and we thought, well, I mean, it would be great to keep the structure, because the time it takes to demolish and build again, and so, but the structure was a hotel structure, which means a lot of columns for rooms, and the ceiling heights was like hotel ceiling heights. The issue was that hotels were not it at that point. There was no real demand for a hotel. Condos were good, but you had that issue. And I was coming, of course, from Brazil, and I said, what about an apart hotel? And people looked at me and say, what, apart hotel? What is that? So I joke that that's the time in my life that half of my time was explaining people what an apart hotel was.
Was that a thing in Brazil?
It was.
Okay.
It was. And then, I went to the effort of how do we name it? We landed in condo hotels. So, it was the first one really that generation.
Because apart hotels in Rio, were they like full kitchen units, or were they just condoed out hotel rooms?
No, we're kitchen units.
Okay, so like an actual apartment, but just that you could rent short term.
So here's what happened. The first condo hotels, and everybody called it condo hotels, was just people got their condos and gave it to a management company to rent it short term.
Sure.
And they would furnish whatever way, having units of different furniture. I actually had one of those in Vail at some point. So that was like it. Now we're talking 17 to 80s. That concept for me at that point didn't work. I mean, if you want to operate it, you want to operate it as a hotel. To operate as a hotel, you need consistency. So you need all the units need to be decorated the same with hotel quality furniture that doesn't break the third time you sit on the chair.
Or smell weird.
Or smell weird, yes. And you may need a meeting space, whatever a hotel has, so you can operate as a hotel. So that's what we did. We were the first one to do this Condo-Hotel 2.0 for South Florida was my company. With the Mutiny, and later we did Sonesta in the back, today it's called Aria, which is even a little more sophisticated with meeting spaces and things like that. So.
And did you have any background in hotels or hospitality, or what gave you this idea?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I then acquired a lot of it as I went along.
Did that kind of come up because the Mutiny was already a hotel and you were trying to figure out a way
Correct.
to make...
That's the only way we could save the structure.
Right.
Was it was you couldn't do a hotel. There was no financing. There was no demand. So it was a condo hotel.
It made more sense.
And then we sold it and we developed and it was successful. But it was really almost by accident that I got into it. And then I fell out of love with the model. Actually, a lot of condo hotels start getting in trouble in that area. And
in the Grove?
No, in general, as a
kind of trouble?
Concept. It's as a concept, I think condo hotels, as it is today, or it was yesterday, is outdated. It's like the taxis, right? You wouldn't start a taxi company now. That's past. At that point, I already saw that light, that thing coming, and I did actually the first large loft project here in Miami Beach. The Meridian across from the convention center. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool project, 111 units. I ended also by chance buying a hotel in St. Barts. And then when I really got into hospitality big time, I started a company in Brazil with a partner. We were the largest partner with Accor to do hotels in Rio. Then I went to Cornell to do some courses.
You said with Accor?
Yeah,
Accor, the hotel.
Yeah.
Accor, the
Yeah.
hotel company, the French hotel company.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So you guys were doing hotels there?
We did 12 hotels under their flags
Where?
in Brazil, in Rio.
Just in Rio?
Just in Rio.
Wow.
We were focused in Rio. And then, a lot more into hospitality, and ended by doing Ritz-Carlton Residences, which finishing my third one. We did the first Ritz-Carlton, and now we're going a few years later. Here's what happened at the end of the 2000 decade. The world was falling apart. I mean, there was no money for anything. You couldn't sell anything for any money.
You're talking like 2009?
2009,
Yeah.
yes. So I ended by becoming partner with somebody that had. So what happened is I figured out I was on the wrong side. I was trying to develop and sell, and I said, no, that's the wrong side. I should be buying.
Right.
So I found this guy from New York, Ophir Stumberg. He was moving to Miami, and he had Elliott Management as a backer. Started, so I want to look for stuff to buy. I said, okay, that interests me, and I started looking at stuff to buy together.
Looking for distress.
For distress, we started a company called Lionheart Capital. We found a building in Palm Beach in Singer Island that was recently completed, 2 large towers on the ocean, which the developer was in trouble. Of course, all developers were in trouble. And 2/3 of the building was unsold. So we bought all that inventory at $250 a foot. So luxury, new build on the ocean.
Was it built? Was it done?
Built, done,
Wow.
on the ocean. Amazing. And we saw that about $250 a foot and said, okay, we need to do something that will get value out of it. And the idea that we had is, what about bringing Ritz-Carlton?
But did you guys buy it before bringing in Ritz-Carlton?
Yes.
Really? So you guys bought the asset not really knowing what you're going to do with it?
Exactly. And then I had a relationship with Ritz-Carlton, or with Marriott at that point, because when I was doing this deals with Accor, I met some of the Marriott guys, and they wanted to be stronger in Brazil. So I had several meetings with them about creating a brand for them in Brazil to compete with Ibis, which was the one that was,
Ibis is also a hotel brand.
Yeah, Ibis
Yeah.
is part of Accor.
Okay.
Was the one that was really happening, because they had smaller, cheaper rooms, so they could sell rent for less. So it was what worked.
Yeah.
I actually went in a trip to, the head of development was Tony Capuano, that today is the CEO for Marriott or Marriott Starwood. And so in the end, we didn't do that deal with them because they couldn't get their head around the smaller rooms. They were fixed in rooms 300-400 square feet, and those rooms were less than 200. But we kept the relationship, so we.
Do you think that's just the more American mentality of, liking bigger rooms and
Yeah.
and
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just that
it's what works in the United States,
right.
and
You get stuck in the
the
past.
market is different in Brazil, right? People,
Right, bigger is better. I mean, cars the same, right?
Yeah.
You had the huge cars
Yeah.
in the U.S., and then they start
Yeah.
getting smaller and smaller. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So we brought Ritz-Carlton in, and the $250 a foot became $600 a foot.
wow.
And that was pretty nice. So that was our first Ritz-Carlton. Second Ritz-Carlton was the Miami Heart Institute we were talking about, which we retrofitted a hospital to become a Ritz-Carlton Residences.
So you guys kept some of the original structure there.
We had to, because if we had demolished, we would lose height and square footage. So maybe it would have been a better option because retrofitting a hospital really was
I'm sure that was
a bigger challenge that we were.
But you guys also
imagining.
added square footage to it.
We did not. Well, I'm sorry. We did add on the vacant land.
The townhouses?
We had the townhouses,
Yeah.
correct.
Those are beautiful townhouses.
They
It's a
were
beautiful
great,
project.
and they were already a settlement with the neighbors.
They sold out, right? Everything sold out.
Everything sold out.
Like crazy. And it's
Yeah.
still, I think, insane
Yeah.
pricing.
Yeah, but where the townhouses were, we could have done a 5-story building. But then, to get the neighbors behind us on the project.
That's important.
The NIMBYs all came out, huh?
It was a mess, man.
I bet.
Mean, no, but I'll tell you why it's worse than you think, because the hospital was with Mount Sinai wasn't friendly with the neighbors at all. They were trying to sell that land to do a park for a huge number at the time. It was $80-90 million. The neighbor, we paid 20. So the neighborhood was up in
You guys
arms
paid 20 for the Miami Heart.
for Miami Heart, and they
How
had
many acres of land?
7, I think.
Okay.
Now, the Simon Cruz was a commissioner that was behind it, and he ended by losing the election for mayor.
He was behind what? I'm sorry.
Buying,
the
selling
land
the land
to make it a
for
park?
the park. And he ended by losing the election, in my opinion, because of that. And the neighborhood was beyond hostile.
Yeah.
And it was really a lot of work to turn it around. We had over 30 meetings in my house in different groups and whatever to get them on board. But after we did all that work, we got, it had to be rezoned or from a hospital to residential and some other stuff. And we got it approved in a single hearing. With the neighbors behind us. But
that had to have increased the neighborhood values now.
It was stupid not to do it.
To have the Ritz name attached to your neighborhood is insane.
Yeah, but what happens is when you get a bunch of neighbors getting together as a group to oppose something, it's not rational anymore.
No. It's like herding cats.
At some point it becomes rational.
Yeah.
And we brought in Piero Lissoni as the architect. That really helped. Because was a name architect and things like that to turn it around, but it was a mission.
And how does that work with Ritz on the residences? Do they provide services like a hotel? Or
right.
Okay.
Correct.
So they have full hotel services, but no hotel.
Well, I wouldn't say full hotel services, but whatever typical services you have on a high-end condominium, you have on a Ritz-Carlton level.
Okay.
They train people Ritz-Carlton style. Which was an interesting experience for us, because when we bought the one in Singer Island, it was a functioning
hotel
condominium. No, it was
condo.
a functioning condominium. It was a condo, and we were experiencing it, and we liked the staff. And when we brought in Ritz later, I said, well, I'm assuming you guys keeping the staff, there's a lot of good people. They said, yeah, the problem is we need to find out if they can be trained into the Ritz-Carlton culture, which has a lot to do with brainwashing the staff. And they interview and tested, and you know how many passed? 10%.
Wow.
So there was
only 10% wanted
only
to get brainwashed?
10%. Only 10% could be brainwashed.
Wow.
That's exactly it.
That's crazy.
And
Felipe, ever since we moved into Bureau, my productivity has been through the roof. I might actually be getting things done for once.
The energy at Bureau just makes work fun. Plus, with 8 locations across South Florida, from South Miami all the way to Hollywood, there's no excuse for not finding a spot to get your shit done, Ben.
And we're not alone. Over 500 local companies call Bureau home. Everything from creative agencies and real estate firms to tech startups, law firms, and media companies. It's a melting pot of brilliant people, and we don't include ourselves in that category.
We definitely don't include ourselves in that category. Bureau really has space for anyone, whether you're flying solo or have a team. There are suites starting at 100 square feet all the way up to 2,000 square feet. They also don't try to lock you into long-term agreements, and everything is month to month.
Let's not forget the important stuff either. The coffee is top tier, staff is incredible, and has a very entrepreneurial vibe. It's not just a workspace, it's a place where work actually gets done.
That's right, Ben. So if you want to level up your workday like we try to do every day, check out Bureau. You might even catch us sipping some espressos between podcast sessions.
Or tequila.
Definitely tequila.
Tell Bureau the Built World sent you, and you'll get 50% off your first month's membership. See you out there. Cheers.
Later.
I want to for a second jump back all the way back to the mutiny. I'm curious how you How does a deal like that get financed on a condo hotel? Like, did you just buy the building vacant cash and then sell out the units and do the conversion later, or how is that kind of? How did
you can get financing.
You got financing to do a.
I mean, listen, a condo hotel is a condo.
Right.
If you have pre-sales and you put enough equity, you get a bank.
You tied it up under contract and did some pre-sales.
Correct.
Built a business plan.
It's a regular condo, like a regular condo.
Got it. So, and you had proceeds from all your past business to
and investors at the time. So
okay,
regular stuff, GP, LP structure with a lender, like the usual stuff.
Got it. And on the jumping back forward to the Ritz deals, how long does Ritz stay on as a brand? Is that like a lifetime deal, or like how does that?
They sign a 20-year contract, I think, typically with extensions. For them, they make $2,000 per unit per month to do the management. The management, of course, is automatic. You have a manager that runs, so it's found money. So they get a piece of all the sales, pretty substantial piece. So many millions, just to put their name, and then they get something every month.
And what's it like working with a brand like Ritz? I mean, do they have a lot of design standard requirements? Are they involved in the design, or like how does that? What's that experience been like?
They used to be very lenient, so as long as you had something luxury enough, in their opinion,
it was okay.
And with life safety,
right?
They will let you just do your thing.
Right.
I understand today they're getting a lot pickier.
Okay.
Well,
it's really proliferated, these brand deals. I mean, when did you do the first one in Sing Around? What year was those? 2010?
Yeah, that was before.
That was one of the first
wave.
ones.
That was definitely one of the first ones.
You were really paving the way for these brand deals. Now everyone wants to be branded, which I think it's not a bad idea. The brand brings a lot of power. How much of it do you think is location versus brand on these sellouts? What's
a brand? Okay, depending on the market, depending on the product, depending on the time, a brand should add between 10 and 30% on your sales price.
Okay.
And you will pay 4%, sometimes 5% to the brand. So you have a result. I mean, of course, today everything is branded.
Right. So
I'm not sure if the brand has such a value as before. I mean, Ritz, you see one per corner. And actually that's why we get going a little more recent. We decided to create our own brand. So that's my new evolution, I guess. For whatever reason, me and my family were always pioneers in different things. Like, we said my dad on HMOs and the commercial consulting company in
offices.
In office in Rio, and condo-hotels and lofts and different things, and try to be ahead of the curve on concepts, and that's kind of what we're doing now. So not difference. I do that on destinations for vacation too, so I'm always trying to find places before everybody else.
I mean, you did that with the Mutiny. I mean, what was that process like? You said it's just like selling a condo, but still you have to sell the bank and end users that these units will perform. I mean,
right. Well,
what was the hardest part about pitching that business model?
Getting people to understand the business model and accept it. Americans are very conservative by nature, bankers especially. So it just was just the effort to explain what it is and why it would work.
Right. And how did you do that? Like, what did you use? Just comps or
a lot of words? Yeah.
And you mentioned the condo hotel is broken. I mean, I've had some experience with condo hotels, and typically they take 50% the front desk on the units, and so the owners don't really end up seeing much profit because OpEx is 50% too, and then at the end of, or more, and at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot left.
Right.
How are you fixing that now with your new project with Domus?
100%. Yeah. Domus, it's the 3.0.
Okay.
It's what I think works.
By the way, you had the coolest booth at the Real Deal event, Domus.
Oh, totally.
It was you had it all outfitted by Ace Props.
Ace Props, yeah,
It was super cool. Like
velvet and leopard and feathers, and
Ben said he felt like he was in a brothel
in London in the 60s.
Yes, London in the 60s. This is way before he was born, so I don't know where this came from.
Well, listen, Ace Props take the merit on it. I mean, my merit was choosing them or somebody and giving them the freedom to do something different and unique.
Yeah.
But I didn't design it.
Yeah.
It
was pretty cool, though. It was like you walk by and you're like, okay, this is cool. This is different. This is hip. It's not the same bullshit Miami condo vibe that you get,
stuck up.
Like, you kind of wanted to stop there and like, oh, let me check this out. Like, it looked like a piece of art almost.
Well, you see, one of my things for the new concept, we're calling it flats, by the way, that started at flexible apartment for temporary stays, but it became too long, so now it's just flats. So the flats concept, one of the things that is different is that we choose best in class to do all the services versus wanted to do the service ourselves. I always say there's a reason you don't go to a Marriott for dinner, because the hotels cannot really manage things giving their structure well enough. It's much better to bring best in class
100%
on things.
Yeah.
But
and customers see that too.
Oh yeah, I mean, the thing is, and we talk about why is it broken and what's broken about it, right? I think the first thing that's broken is with this new Airbnb world. Getting every unit owner becomes their own hotel unit,
right?
And they do their own thing. They set up their own price, and they vet or don't vet the guest, and it's a mess. I need money that month, so I lower my rent and $50 a night, and
right. You have one unit renting at $50 a night, one at $350.
Yeah, and then of course you have to call the police every week because you got the wrong guests in. So one of the things is having the one thing that we decided we needed to do for the concept is start our own management company, and on very high standards. And not allowing people the buyers to rent short term by themselves. I call it protect people from themselves. We think that's very critical.
So you guys rented on their behalf.
We will anybody that wants to rent their unit less than 30 months. They need a very qualified company, which a lot of box to check, which are very hard to get, but we offer that on a very high level and on a very competitive pricing. And
how's that different from the traditional condo hotel model?
Well, for one, you mean on the pricing, because
both.
On traditional condo hotel model, you can do your own thing. You don't have to. You can just put it on Airbnb and manage your property. That's not allowed here. It needs to be done professionally.
Through you guys.
Through us, or it could be another equally qualified company, but it would be hard to find. Okay. And we're so aggressive on pricing that nobody can compete. That's the truth. We also have a reservation system a lot more sophisticated. So we have over 100 platforms. We reach 1.4 billion people a month, visits a month, versus like an Airbnb is 100 million. Of course, more pricing algorithms. So we compete head to head with any hotel company, even Marriott and Hyatt is part of those 100 platforms. So we have a lot more penetration in the market.
Isn't the goal really to just drive direct bookings though, versus?
Well, yes, but both. As long as you get your rate.
Because those OTAs take a big chunk of that revenue. It's like 20% mostly.
15, some is 10. But again, for the owners, the bottom line is what's interest. I mean, I think maybe the most basic component is you need to build a building that is so efficient. First, we're building a hotel. In our minds, we're building a hotel, and we're selling the rooms. That's the way we look at it. It's a hotel first. Now,
but it's a hotel that has kitchens, bathrooms.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But it's sold condominium form, but it's planned as a hotel. If you do that right, your cost per room, or how much you can sell the room for, is the same that on a hotel investor will buy the whole building. So let's say I'm in Brickell, right? So if I was buying a hotel, the whole building, I would pay market today $500,000-$600,000 a key. Well, that's what we sell for. So if it works for a hotel investor, it should work for the individual buyer as long as it's managed correctly, professionally as a hotel. So really what we're doing is mimicking what a hotel developer would do and selling in pieces. We think as a concept, we're the first one. It's opening now in a month. You guys will be invited to the grand opening. I think we're doing it on the 27th of February. And, we of course, we want to prove that we're right, but we're very convinced that that's the new model, this new way of doing it.
What's up, Builties? We're interrupting the podcast because we want to make some money together with you guys. We have a lease coming up that we're representing the landlord on. It's in East Hialeah. This thing is sweet, Ben.
It's a really sick warehouse. I mean, probably one of the nicest warehouses we've ever. It is the nicest warehouse we've ever been in.
Probably been the nicest warehouse we've ever been in.
This thing's got 25,000 square feet of total space, 5,000 feet on 2 floors of Class A office. I mean,
Class A-ish, industrial.
Dude, no, this is sick. This is a sick office.
It is a sick office.
It's the sickest office I've seen in industrial space.
Yeah.
Marble floors, really nice bathrooms. These guys built it out for themselves, but aren't ready to occupy this space yet, so they hired us to find a short-term tenant looking for a 3-year lease term on this thing. $18 a foot modified gross. The 20,000 square feet of the industrial space has 19-foot clear ceiling heights, and everything's brand new. Brand new LED lighting. Everything's clean. 2,400 amps of power, 3-phase, more than you could ever use. It's a beast.
Fully air conditioned too.
Fully AC.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're looking for a short-term lease. They're super reasonable. If you got a tenant, reach out to us.
Cheers. Do you sell end users on like a cap rate, or what's kind of the?
No, listen. I sell a condo.
Yeah.
Even by law, I cannot talk about or do projections.
No, you can't talk about.
No,
you can't be like, this is what you should expect to make.
No, I mean,
is that a securities issue?
Yes, it's a securities issue. Yeah, I mean,
because I remember back in the day, I don't remember if it was Opera Tower or there were condo buildings that allowed short-term rentals that would basically guarantee like a 7 cap or something.
Well, you can do that if you want. That's legal. You rent it.
You can guarantee.
Yeah, it's like You say
but you can't say
the way it is I'm renting you from you at 7% for 3 years.
Right.
And then I'm gonna sublease.
Right.
And then I'll lose money. I'll make money.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
I
don't think it's clean. It's clear, and it's typically you. In a sense, you're fooling the consumer. Totally. Because the consumer think, okay, I'm gonna get 7%, and you do it for 2 years, and then maybe you do and you don't. I think that the educated consumer, what we do is we do star reports. We make that available. So the people have clarity of what in Brickell, in that competitive set, how much can you rent it for? What's the occupancy? But we don't want to do the math for the buyer. We just give the elements.
Yeah.
We can also give the percentage that we charge to a buyer. Now, there was a study, Anna from Analytics did a study on rental management agreements, and that's now public information. People can look at it, and they'll see how competitive we are. But that's not part of our sales process. Some developers, I guess, do it, but we like playing by the book.
So you guys are opening when?
February. We should have guests March.
So, and you guys just built this?
Yeah.
And how many stories?
This is 12 stories,
12
171 units.
Okay.
It's our first Domus, Brickell Park.
It's right behind the Publix in Brickell. You know?
Yeah.
Right, and next to Novotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have a second one under construction across from the Mercedes-Benz tower on 11th and Southwest 2nd.
Okay.
And that's, we're over 40% sold, under construction. And then we have a third
So
one.
you're fully sold out on Brickell already?
We're like close to 80%.
Okay.
And then we have this one, and then we have a third one that we'll launch in about a year. That's Bayfront in Edgewater.
Okay.
And that's one of our brands.
Where are the buyers coming from?
A lot of South America.
Yeah. Brazilians?
Some Brazilians. It's really the buyers come from where you focus. And we haven't focused enough in Brazil yet. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to Brazil, and I'm doing a little bit of a road show now in São Paulo in a couple of weeks. So that's yes, we sold to Brazilians.
Yeah.
But we did more efforts in Colombia, in Central America. So
the majority of the buyers are from those countries, right? Well,
yeah,
Central America not being a country, of course, right?
it's very it's very diversified.
I'm not the guy to ask.
It's
I'm from Minnesota.
It's a colony in the U.S., I guess.
Listen, we're very proud to say that we're by far the fastest selling project in town. I mean, I think we're doing like 20 units a month, when number 2 is probably like 7.
Well, I think it's exactly the product that most people that are outside the U.S. want. They want the flexibility to own something and be able to come visit and make money when they're not here.
The pricing is what they want to spend. $150,000. You bought something. You got a loan, put 150, and people love that, and they love. The one thing they love the most, I should say, is we keep saying that our job starts at closing. Most condo developers, they want to wash their hands at closing, you do your own thing. And that's not the way we look at it. We think it's our responsibility to make sure that whatever they bought work. And of course, because we have a brand that we need to protect, it's a win-win situation. I mean, we want the brand to continue being successful, but we also want to make sure that our buyer will buy again and again and again. I mean, my partners were 50-50 on North Development. I have Peruvian partners from a company called Edifica. 3 young guys out of college 20 years ago alternated to do their masters and created this conglomerate of companies. They do about 4 buildings a year, over 70 buildings. They self-perform construction, and they have a money manager. They raise money through investors. The buyers of their same product as us, the buyers of their buildings are the same. They buy over and over again as they build new buildings. And we want to do exactly the same. We want to do something that we care about the buyers, so there's continuity.
How big are the units? How many bedrooms?
Studio to 2 bedrooms, 350, 400 studios to 500, something 1 bedroom, 700. And the mix is a hotel mix. So we build like 65, 70%, which will be queen or double queens or kings. Then you have the junior suites, that's the 1 bedrooms, 20-something%, and then you have a 2-bedroom suite, 10%. So we're really mimicking a hotel. It still works so well that we can buy everybody back and make it work.
Is there F&B in Domus?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And who's running that?
So first building, we got Ludlow Coffee Supply from New York. They're gonna do something like the Starbucks Reserve type of concept. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but it's, Ludlow has great coffee. Dua Lipa was taped saying that's the best coffee in New York. And they have a big following, so of course have good coffee, but this is a lot more. And there'll be a bar, maybe a speakeasy, Jordan Binder.
Sounds like a great spot for
Cafecito Club?
A Cafecito Club.
Might have to do it.
Yeah.
100%.
I like it.
It's a nice big space, and there'll be a bar later and some Jordan Binder is a partner. That's the Dante's Hi-Fi and other places like that. And it's going to be a place to go. We wanted to make it a destination. And everything in the building needs to work flawless. But the reason we can do it with, again, best-in-class third parties is that we have a management company. So we're overseeing everything. And if something doesn't work, we can step in and take over. So that's the idea.
Hold on, let's talk about Cafecito Club. I want to do a Cafecito Club over here.
Okay.
When explain what that is first.
So we do a monthly networking event for our listeners and people in the industry.
Okay.
It's super casual. Like everyone just shows up, they buy their own coffee, and they talk about real estate.
You will not find a better place.
So I want to do it over there.
Yeah.
When is it opening it up?
And by the way, the Ace Props relationship. That you like the real deal.
Ben likes the brothel concept.
Right.
And he will buy one of your units if it looks like a brothel.
Well, but just to get the full link, we bought some of their furniture. We want some vintage furniture as part of our Cafecito Club location.
All right.
So we bought some from them.
Oh, cool.
And that's where their relationship started.
Oh,
so
cool.
it's.
You said they open February 27th?
It's going to be open February 27th.
All right, March, we're going to Cafecito Club.
All right, March Cafecito at Domus, Brickell.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that would be a hit.
Yeah, let's do it.
What kind of ADRs are you targeting at the Brickell one?
If I remember correctly from the Star Report, Brickell compatible stuff was in the 250 plus range.
Okay.
That's what the competitive set, that's what we found out.
Okay.
Could be a little more now. We did this a while ago.
Hospitality's been tough in Miami.
But Brickell, not that much.
It's been kind of flat year over year.
Brickell, it's there's demand.
Have you been paying attention to hotels in Miami? Do you have any other interest in Miami hotels, like Miami Beach or anything?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, my focus right now it's the Domus concept and my new concept that we're launching now in about 30 days, which is about long-term stays versus the short-term rental friendly, calls House of Wellness. And that's also in Brickell on 9th, east of Southwest 2nd. It's a whole different thing that we're also creating a concept and a brand around it.
But this is long-term hospitality play?
It's not a hospitality play. It's more, if you're an investor, it could be a multifamily play for you. Otherwise, you can just buy and live there. So that's starting at $390,000 in Brickell, which is crazy. People don't believe when I say it. On a very cool building with a lot of amenities, and it's all around wellness. I mean, the concept here is that wellness had been restricted too long to wealthy people, and we think it's time to have attainable wellness.
But what does wellness mean? Like, what is that, like, in terms of amenities? Like, what is that specifically?
It's a lot. I mean, in terms of amenities alone, hammam, steam, sauna, cold plunge, spa, this kind of stuff.
Hopefully no pickleball courts in there.
There's no pickleball courts there, yes. But it does have a large gym and a place to do classes, then yes, massage table, IV treatments, it's really whatever you want.
Yeah.
Salon, mani-pedi, hair. It's a large pool on the roof that you could do laps, almost semi-Olympic size, communal kitchen, co-working, socializing. We have.
When you say communication, like communication by the poolside, is that what it is?
It is by the poolside.
Little barbecue. On the rooftop.
It's a little bit what Adam Newman wants to do with Flow, but I think we can do it much better and operate it better.
I hope so, because I don't think he knows what he wants to do.
Well, the problem with Adam is that he's a great business guy and a great creator, but he's terrible at managing.
Yeah.
And look what happened with WeWork.
Yeah.
So he started this kind of idea we live that we didn't really go forward, and now he's doing Flow, So there's similarities, but what we're doing will work much better. So also beyond what I just described, right, of the spaces, you will come and have an evaluation when you move in as a resident, and a free evaluation, all your vitals and whatever. Will give you a bracelet or a ring, and you'll be monitored as much as you want, of course, not mandatory, but you'll be monitored by the building and the building staff. If you need diets, we have a nutritionist. So it's live longer, healthier type of thing, as part on the DNA of the building. It's all about.
And so how many units is this?
This is a little over 600.
600 units?
Yeah,
Holy
so it's
shit.
a pretty nice big building,
Yeah.
but they're also smaller on the smaller side.
You said units starting at three how much?
390, I
Wow.
think it's starting. It's pretty. Those are not the other one. Domus furnished. This is not furnished, but it's finished.
Yeah.
And now it's so. Here's what happens. The pricing is so low that somebody could buy units, one or more, and rent them at workforce housing pricing and have a return. So somebody that wanted to buy a small multifamily building could buy 10 units here and have a nice return out of renting the units on a yearly basis. Because a lot of investors don't like the short-term rental-friendly daily thing. They're scared of it and their experiences. So this is the answer we have. So we have, they're all smaller units and affordable in pricing. They're all luxurious, good taste, nice finishes. I don't know how to do bad finishes and ugly. I just don't. It would be too much for me.
This episode is brought to you by Built World Advisors. Yeah, that's us. We're not your typical commercial brokerage. We combine deep market knowledge with a media platform that actually connects to people doing deals, the developers, brokers, architects, and attorneys.
Let's not forget the investors, Ben. From warehouses in East Hialeah to off-market gems in Allapattah, we help you find value where others aren't looking. If you're tired of waiting for opportunities to land in your inbox, let's talk.
Built World Advisors, real estate for the people who get shit done. You can check us out at builtworldadvisors.com. Speaking of that, you have a project going on in Sereno and St. Barth, right?
Right. That's one of my babies, yeah.
Is that with Christian? I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
Liagre. Yeah, Christian was the main father of minimalism. You know, some people consider Christian the number one in the century. As a designer, it was a lot of fun to work with him.
So tell us about that project. Is that project done? It's completed, or?
Oh yeah, it's been a long time ago.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
that was such a funny story. That's this longer interviews allow you to tell stories. So that's a good thing about it. Huh?
Exactly.
So I was going to St. Barth for the second time in my life, and we're talking late 90s.
Okay.
A friend of mine told me, hey, they stay on this old hotel. I mean, it's old or whatever, but it's on the beach. And it's affordable. So I said, okay, let me try it out. So and then he said, listen, there's another friend of mine that's looking to buy a hotel in St. Barth. You know, you're in real estate. When you're there, ask around. So I check in, I go to the receptionist and say, hey, do you guys know of any commercial broker on the island looking for hotels?
This is pre-internet. You
That
gotta
was-
actually talk to people.
Right, that was
Yeah.
pre-internet. So the lady said, well, no, I mean, I really don't know of any, but so you know this hotel is for sale. So I said, okay, how do I find more about it? So no, listen, this evening, this afternoon, you have the managers, weekly managers happy hour, talk to the general manager. So I meet the general manager, some young French cute girl. And I said, hey, I wanted to know more about it. I heard it's for sale. I said, oh, no, come to my office tomorrow. So here I go to her office tomorrow. And I said, okay, so is there a package to see it? No, package.
No offering.
No, zero. Is there a broker representing it? No, there's no broker. This was the Parisot family. They were furniture manufacturers, and they were like absentee owners. And I said, well, how much do you want for it, right? So she gave me a number. It was French francs at the time, and it was like, I don't know, equivalent to $8 million. Beautiful property on the ocean, long and narrow on the beach, on Cancun de Sac, which is amazing. That's where the kiting happens, by the way. That's light blue water and whatever. And I said, wow, I mean, that's a pretty interesting deal. So I said, well, but how do I, what's next? I mean, you want to make an offer? So I said, oh, yeah, I'll make an offer. So I said, I'll pay $7 million.
No analyzing, just winging it.
The food is a real story. So she goes.
So no comps on St. Bart's, nothing, right?
No,
This in extreme sports we call a full send.
Yeah,
This is just send it.
So she goes to her computer, she types something in French, she presses a button, he prints.
She's sending a telex?
So she said, okay, here, sign here. So I sign it. She go to the fax machine and fax it there. So a couple of days later, they say, hey, monsieur, they accepted your offer. So I said, well, I mean, okay, I mean, I'm very interested, but I was here on vacation. I wasn't expecting it. So she picks up the phone, called the CFO, and I told the story. I say, listen, I mean, I'm a developer. I did the Mutiny. I mean, I told the story, fake it until you make it type of stuff. And they bought it, and I said, listen, I'm just not ready. And they're like, no, don't worry. We had this for 20 years. We're not in a hurry. Take your time. So I came back to Miami and said, fuck.
So
where's the money? And plus, I wasn't that good at hotels, I'm talking a few years ago. That's like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So I said, I need a partner. I need an investor. So I created like a little packet under my arm and started talking to a lot of people. And one of the people I met along the way through this guy that was Mike Feinstein, schoolmate, Jeff Dogowitz, was this guy, first Gabriela Contreras and then Ignacio Contreras. They used to own the Ritz Plaza. They became the SLS. So they were into hotels. And I met Gabi going to clubbing in South Beach on the good old days.
What were those days?
For me, early 2000s.
Okay.
But where specifically? What spots?
Oh, I mean, living room, liquid living room, bar room. There was Crowbar for sure. The second floor.
We were partying in the same place.
Yeah, Michelle Lesham at the door.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a really good times here in Miami Beach.
Is that when you were divorced? After your divorce?
No, actually, no. I would go with my wife.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I got divorced later, but I don't know.
That's what led to the divorce, right? Was partying on South Beach.
I don't know. I think in life, it's just hard to be married to a person your same age.
Yeah.
As you grow older, it's really difficult. So.
God, I hope my wife doesn't listen to this.
That's got it. That's fine.
We're the exact same age.
That's fine. That part will cut. No worries. Add it. Anyhow, so at some point, I found this guy, Ignacio Contreras. I said, listen, I showed him everything. He's an architect. And he said, well, I've never been to St. Barth. I said, yeah, let's go. So he went to St. Barth. Of course, he loved it. He was friends with a top Venezuelan, he's Venezuelan, top Venezuelan attorney for French interests. He got him involved. And, a few months later, we bought it,
For $7 million.
For the $7 million.
Yeah.
We had Andre Balaz at the point helping us with the management. He brought in Christian Diagre as the designer. Later, we parted way with Andre because, like Adam Newman, he is not really good at managing. He's better at
the vision.
And we really needed to focus on management, so we decided to manage ourselves.
You go in all cash on this thing?
No, we got some financing.
Okay.
At the point.
Is that easy to get financing in another country like St. Bart's, or like what's that like?
No, nothing is easy in France.
Right.
France is not an easy place to do.
I can imagine.
To do business. I mean, one of the things I remember clearly is when we're doing the closing, which ended at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. Some of the stuff I had to write in French, like full pages in 10 times.
10 copies.
And 10 copies. It was,
Wow.
it's not easy in France, but I mean, after you get it, then of course, anywhere in the world is the same.
Right.
Truthfully, business is a question of adapting.
Right.
I had adapted already from Brazil to the U.S.
Right.
So I just had to adapt from the U.S. to
French.
To French.
Thank God you knew French.
That helped.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
But listen, a lot of it is getting the right people around you.
100%,
When you think you know it all and you try to do it by yourself, it never works. I mean, you can get lucky, but ideally you get people much smarter than you, and you listen to them, and at that point it's common sense, right?
100%. So you guys bought it, you closed at 2 a.m., got Christian in there, and did you completely renovate the property?
Right.
Or what?
Correct. Yes, and we rebranded it.
Did the financing include CapEx expenditure, or did you guys do that cash?
I don't remember exactly how
Yeah.
it was structured, but I mean, it's actually the same thing, right?
Right.
As long as we get financing,
Right.
where the equity come from,
Right.
it's academic. But I think it was a mix.
Do you still own that hotel
No,
today?
at some point it became my partner's family business. His son was, his two sons and his daughter was working on it.
Oh, nice.
So I decided to say, listen, you're a good friend, but we're not family. Why don't you buy me out? And that's what happened 10 years later.
St. Bart's is a huge yachting destination, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It
Did
is.
you have a boat that you took down there? Or?
No.
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 You just fly
Yeah,
down and stay
yeah.
in the.
And I got the best years of St. Barth. I mean, I think that's, again, what
Really?
I'm saying. You want to be in places when the best years of that place.
So what are the next places?
Right now, depends where in the world,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Where's the wave? Yeah, where's the wave?
where in the world are you looking at?
Well, I have a house in Menorca, in the Baleares. I
Uh-huh.
think Menorca, it's pretty cool place. I think Ibiza, Formentera are past. I think Mallorca, too many buses with tourists. So Menorca, I think it's the cool destination, almost only Spanish.
So Spain.
Yeah. Well, in Spain, that's what I think. I mean, let's go to Mexico. Well, if you go to Riviera Maya, I think Tulum is totally gone. I used to go to Tulum 15 years ago for.
It's played out now.
And now but Hobosh is pretty cool. So it really depends where you want to go. I mean, you're going to go to Europe and to go partying. Berlin used to be great. I think Belgrade, it's pretty cool now.
Okay, I haven't been there.
Like Berlin
Yeah.
20 years ago. So it really depends what you want and where you want. It's a question of doing
but it
research.
seems like you have a knack for where the next hotspot's going to be. So you're well traveled.
It's an attention span.
Yeah.
Are you focused on it or not? Because the information is available.
Yeah.
You have to talk to enough people. Today with internet, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But you think Spain maybe is kind of the next.
Oh, Spain for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, Madrid is exploding.
Yeah.
I mean, Madrid is great.
How about
It's a great
Portugal?
city. Portugal's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Portugal. It's for me in Europe for an August destination. That's where I send people. Portugal,
Yeah.
because it's not crowded. August terrible in
Yeah.
Europe, and it's the temperatures are nice.
Yeah.
And it's very cool.
Yeah.
And it's affordable. So definitely Portugal is a place to look at.
How about in the U.S.?
In the U.S., to do what? You want to go skiing? You want to go to the
No, I'm
mountain?
just saying
I mean,
markets you're focused on. Are you a true believer in Miami?
For work right now in Miami and developing the brands. Yes.
And how about in the next neighborhoods in Miami? I know
like-
you're doing the Ritz in Pompano, right?
Yes, I'm
Are
finished.
there any
in the
other
Woodland
like
Park,
areas outside South Florida?
Which I was in a lot before everybody else.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was many years ago. In Miami,
Or South Florida in general. I mean, what other markets?
I mean, Edgewater, I love.
Yeah.
I think Edgewater, it's still underappreciated. I mean, people who knows it, but I mean, you're like 10 minutes from Miami Beach on the Sunset area, which is the best of Miami Beach, on the beautiful drive on the Venetian.
Yeah.
You next to the Zion District, Wynwood, downtown Brickell is so easy in and out, and you're on the water.
Yeah.
So I think Edgewater is great. I mean, of course, Coconut Grove, but that's, I was saying that 5 years ago. Now it's too obvious, so I cannot say it. So I think in this area here, I think Palm Beach still has to grow. For Lauderdale, Broward still have areas to grow. There's a lot to happen still. We're a very young city.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami is like about 100 and a little years old. I mean, I've been here a third of the city's life.
I mean, you travel.
We're a baby.
When you travel and you tell people that you're from Miami, what's their impression?
People like Miami. I mean, they're of course associated with partying and all
With
this
11?
stuff, and with 11. Yeah, what a coupe 11.
Yeah.
I take my hat off to these guys. I mean, that was really.
We had Michael on the podcast.
Yeah, that was such a good, well executed project and concept. So,
Yeah. So yeah, Edgewater makes sense. I mean, there's still a lot of room to grow there too. A lot of houses in between a lot of those buildings that are all zone T636 that can be.
Right. Yeah, all the Upper East of Miami, I think is great. When you go south, there's less to talk about.
I agree. I agree. Too landlocked for me.
Right. Yeah, you have the big lots and Gable Estates and things like that, but that hasn't changed. It's just.
Right.
And then that's my area. That's my area. And Brickell still have a lot to grow. West Brickell, where we're doing our building, is going to be very different.
I mean, West Brickell has
10
changed
years from now.
so. I moved here in 2010, and all of West Brickell, those old two-story multifamily walk-ups, and now it's all tall buildings. It's completely different.
And it's not even half done.
Yeah.
This is going to be like Manhattan. Brickell is the Manhattan of the South.
So you've been in Miami how many years now?
34.
34. I've been here about 25. Do you think the next 25 to 34 years, Miami will continue to grow at the same pace, or do you think it's going to accelerate even more?
Good question. Certain things will go faster, certain things never change. I think there's a lot of already growth of high speed as we are now. I'm not sure how much faster it can go, but I do believe it's going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
In practicality, to go faster than what we are.
I mean, we went pretty fucking fast in the last 35
That's what I'm
right?
saying. I mean, I'm not sure. And remember, you keep growing, and then at some point you go down. Look at 2009, or look at it's up and down. So.
But it feels like everyone's been predicting the next crash since 2013, and it hasn't come.
But you're talking real estate.
Yeah, real estate.
Yeah.
We got saved by 2020. I felt like it was coming in 2018, 2019.
God
but
bless those New Yorkers.
yeah, those New Yorkers propped us up.
They saved us.
Listen, nothing is immune of
course,
crisis,
of
but
course.
I think Miami is in a very good position.
Yeah.
Because there's so much people from outside. What's hurting us right now is some of those Trump's policies that foreigners are not that comfortable coming here.
Like the Canadians pulled way back.
I mean, I think part of the issue with the market is very slow. We've been selling, but for most projects, it's been very difficult. I think Trump policy it's part of it. I also, I don't know what you guys thought of Art Basel this year, but I thought it was a weaker year because Europeans didn't want to come.
Yeah.
So you always had some, nicer, good-looking people. And
we
this
haven't
year,
really talked about Art Basel. Was it a much slower year?
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought it was lower. The quality of the attendance was down. I mean, our Basel has been changing, like becoming earlier. So the collectors leave by Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Events are starting to happen a week before. Which is fine.
Yeah.
But again, it's just the number and quality of the attendance. The attendance is not the same. I mean, the galleries are still selling. I don't have, they lie a lot, so I don't know exactly
Of course, yeah.
what to believe in and who
They
sell.
pump their numbers, yeah.
Right, what sell what. But it's just as and my wife is into arts, and so we're very connected with the art world. I mean, our reading is that it was probably maybe the worst year ever.
Holy shit.
Well, like you said, everything comes in waves, right? Like
Everything
it
comes
gets
in
so
waves.
hyped up, it's got to pull back a little bit because
Right, yeah, the Basel in Paris, the Paris Basel, I think, affected. A lot of people went there instead of coming here. So, there's competition.
Why, was it at the same time?
No, it wasn't at the
Oh,
same
okay.
time, but, I mean, if I'm a collector
Yeah.
and I travel to buy art and to be near my peers, maybe I went to Basel in Switzerland, then I went to Basel in Paris, but do I want to deal with,
Miami traffic,
for
yeah.
me, traffic in the entry? Would they give me a hard time at the airport?
Right.
Do I want to do lines? A lot of traffic, Basel.
Yeah.
So it's just less of, and I've seen it, I've done it.
Yeah.
It becomes like what we were talking, some places that get played out.
Right.
So that's the concern. I think Miami Beach especially needs some leadership that really understand the value of the brand
Yeah, we
and
keep
protecting
hearing
the
that
brand.
over and over.
well,
about
the
Miami
beach has really languished in
Yeah,
the past
it really
It
has.
does.
10
You know,
years.
I went down there just the other night, biked with my son and his friend. It was January 2nd on a Saturday night.
He's dead.
We were there around
Right.
8 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
We biked down from 73rd Street to South Beach, and it was slow.
right.
I mean, and we were on Ocean Drive,
Right.
like that's where all the tourists
Yeah.
are. It was slow.
Yeah, and the city of Miami, I mean, think Lane Higgins will be good for the city.
Yeah.
I think we needed the new
A little
blood.
change.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
I'm glad.
yes.
I'm glad we have a little regime change. Let's say
Yes.
that, right? In Miami, there's been 3 families that have controlled the Miami commission for
They
as
all-
long as I've been here,
They
and
all
as long
got
as you've been
they
here.
all got a beating.
Yeah, and
People spoke.
Yeah, people spoke, and hey, change is always is good.
It's inevitable.
Yeah,
it's
but
inevitable.
Higgins is good.
Yeah.
I supported her. I met with her many times.
Okay.
She makes sense,
Yeah.
and she has experience, and I think she will do great.
All
Actually,
right, cool.
So what's next for you? More Domus and more
more
condo hotels?
Domus, more house of wellnesses. Well, I mean, again, we have already 4 under development right now, so it's not that I'm getting bored.
More in Miami? You going to focus on Miami or start going
But
out?
for now, I think
Yeah.
later, I actually like Palm Beach. You just need to find, for us on Domus, it needs to be a hotel market.
Right.
And we need to be able to build efficiently so we can get the pricing that we would pay the hotel, like my formula. So it needs to be in certain locations where you would do a hotel. I mean, the other thing that hurts, for example, on the development is sometimes certain municipalities, you need to build a lot of parking. So
It is a killer, yeah.
It's a killer. I mean, if I'm doing like something that need to work for a hotel and I need 1.5, 2 parking spaces
Yep.
per unit, that the price of the unit goes up.
That podium is not cheap.
Well, plus now crystal ball. I think the robo taxis are here and are here to stay. When they really get going, you'll be able to do trips for, I would say, like a third of the cost that you pay today for an Uber.
Right.
When that happens, people will not have cars anymore.
Yeah.
And plus, and I'm quoting what I heard from before, but I don't know if those are for sure, but the efficiency of robocars is 4-to-1. Because there's nobody on the texting, and they know exactly where they're going, and they all talk between each
Yeah,
other. The number of kids that didn't want to take a drive or get a driver's license used to be around 20%. I think I read this on The Economist. And the number I read was over 40 now.
It's crazy.
So what happens is all these garages are going to be empty.
Yeah.
So not only you need to build for old reasons when everybody had a car, but when I build, because you always build, you launch now, you have to sell, then you have to build. We're talking, start a building now. If I start something now, I'm talking 4 or 5 years later. Mm-hmm. When it's done, those garages are going to be obsolete. So it's just.
So let me ask you a question though. This is an interesting thing to talk about. 2 questions. How much does a parking space cost you to build? And what happens to those obsolete parking garages? How do we repurpose those?
It's about 50,000.
Okay, per spot.
Per spot.
So just to put that in perspective, right? Like you're selling a $350,000 unit, $50,000 is just so you can park your car.
And if it's 1.5 parking spaces, you're at 75.
Yeah.
So now I have to add that price to the unit.
Yeah.
Right. So I cannot sell it for 400,000 anymore. Yeah. Now it's 500,000.
Our cars live as well as we do, better than we do.
Yeah. So now what do we do with it? It's hard. I mean, what do you do with it? There's no obvious answers for that. I mean, it's
pickleball courts.
Well, you can't even do that because you need high ceilings. Well, no, pickleball, I guess you don't need high ceilings.
No, they're not hitting that hard.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, that's like the malls.
They're not real athletes.
It's like the anchors, like
exactly.
all the anchors that got obsolete, and they are still. We were in that business a little bit. In my old company, we bought 6 million square feet of failed retail in 17 states. At 10-20% of replacement costs, and then I left the company. My ex-partner now, I guess, sold most of it, but
that's Lionheart.
That's Lionheart, and they become obsolete,
Right.
And then you have that empty space. It's just waste,
right?
And actually, it's waste, In the world we live in, where we keep producing 1 billion people every 20 years. We should be smarter than be wasting. But it's old habits die hard.
They sure do. They sure do. Well, Ricardo, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, this was a great conversation, Ricardo.
Okay, appreciate
it.
It
We met at the Real Deal event.
It was fun to talk to you guys.
We got a long-form podcast.
Yeah, we had a little warm-up a couple months back, so glad you came through and joined us. It was really fun to get to know you and hear your story.
And shout out to Marcia, too, for connecting us. Right?
Yeah, Marcia Martinez Last.
Yeah,
was,
that's my friend for many, many years. I saw her starting.
Yeah, she was a guest of ours about 2 years ago.
Yep.
So she connected us with Ricardo at the Real Deal.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome, Ricardo. Have a great afternoon.
Guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers.
Appreciate
Likewise.
it. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.